Meghalaya. He is passionate about WordPress and open source, loves sharing and learning, and enjoy reading and explore a scenic hills in his spare time.
Okay, so the way we are planning to divide this is I kind of do some of the theory part and set up the context of what we'll be doing today. And then we will do the actual demo itself. So if you guys have laptop, now would be a good time to open that up. And I would recommend installing a local instance of WordPress. So as I'm covering the theory part, you can maybe start the download if you don't have it already. So how many of you have heard of block themes and have worked with block themes before? Okay, not a lot of you. So okay. So let's take a look at how you traditionally edit theme on your site. You are kind of limited by this drawer on the left side, which means that the options that you get here are the only things you can customize in your entire site, and often you just find yourself, oh, how do I change this, and you have to write some CSS or add some extra scripts and plugins. So with the block editor or Bloomberg or full site editing, whatever what you want to call it, the idea is that if you can dream it, you should be able to build it. So what the idea is that you should not touch code. So you know how the old themes were, the one we saw before. You have PHP files and then you write code into it, and then you are just confused because now there's a PHP error being thrown. So the idea is that you abstract all those complexities away and you just are free to dream what you want and see if you can just build it. So let's see how that looks like. So if you see this website, it kind of looks like I'm editing a Word file or some kind of, I can just click anywhere and then just start adding things into it. So there's a way to group these things, but we won't focus on that much. But if you see, it's very simple. Where I wanted to add a logo, I just added it and then it's visible. And that's as simple as it is. So you can also change the color and feel of your entire website in just 1 or 2 clicks. So let's say that you are trying out some blue shade and it wasn't working out well. Instead of going and changing CSS in every single page, you just click it and it's gone to another color. So let's start with simple things. Let's see how block theme works. So the most core part of a block theme starts with blocks itself, but then we'll start with template because let's go from top to bottom. So blocks are the smallest part, but then let's start from the largest to the and we'll break down to the smallest. So a template is basically a page on your website. So let's say you have a home template, you have an about template, you have blog templates, all those stuff like that. And then what happens with the template is that it's made of a bunch of blocks. So you put together a large bunch of blocks and then you have a template. So the idea of a template is that let's say you have home, you can customize the template and anybody who are just changing the header and it will reflect across all your site. You also have the flexibility to convert any portion of your site into a template part as well. So you can reuse it. Moving forward, I think I showed you one where you just click one or two buttons and then you can change the look and feel of your entire site. So that is called global sites. The name kind of reflects that you kind of change the styling of your site globally. So what you do is, as a block theme developer or as a block theme creator, you will give your users 7 or 8 styles. So let's say somebody likes blue, let's say somebody likes orange. So they can choose among all of these and they can also create their own. The thing it does is that it abstracts away a lot of the coloring and all of those things you have to do for your website. So let's see what that looks like. So this is my home page for now. So those are the global sites. You see how it changes as I'm clicking each of these. All the colors, they kind of change by themselves. Okay, so now we are again breaking down. So we did templates, we did template parts, and then we kind of diverted to global sites. And now we are looking at patterns. So let's say that you have a e-commerce website, and then you're basically selling multiple product offerings, and then you want them to be displayed in a certain way. So what you would do is that instead of creating it every single time on every single page, you will create it once and then you will convert it to a pattern. So it's a pattern, if you can understand. So the pattern is that you want it displayed in a certain way. That's the pattern. And what you would do is that you would create it and then you would put it across all the necessary pages that you need. So one thing, let's see before moving forward. So this is the WordCamp Pune website, because open source, according to some people. But so you can create a new pattern and we look into what sync means. And what you can do is you can add a bunch of blocks into this, and then this pattern will completely be used across your entire website. Moving forward, we just saw that one toggle now that says synced or not synced. So the difference between this is that once you create a pattern and you insert it into your page and somebody makes an edit to it, it won't be reflected across all the pages where it was inserted in. So that's why the need for sync patterns came, when you insert something and then you realize that, oh, I did something wrong, but there's 10 places where I have to change it. So if it's a sync pattern, you kind of change it in one place and it starts reflecting across all the places there you go. So let's take a look at that as well. So now I'm not turning off that sync pattern. And don't worry if you don't understand how all these pieces come together. That's where Remy will come and he'll just help you understand from scratch from a new website. So yeah, so how do you start, right? Like we know all of these things, but then how do we start? So there's a plugin that's developed by the WordPress community itself. It's called Create Block Theme. So the issue that initially when block themes came out, the issue was that somebody had to create folders and somebody had to create stuff and go into the file system and do things. So somebody who's looking for a simple solution like this does not want to create files and all these things. So that's where this plugin came into picture. Remy will explain more how you can use this, but it's a plugin that helps you to start creating block themes, start creating child themes of block themes and all these things. So let's just see it in action. So I can just hand it over to Remy for the demo, and he'll explain, and you guys will put into picture what all the things that you have just heard about. So it will help you make sense of everything. Yeah, Remy.
So how many of you like uh, do codes like code WordPress themes plugins? Basically FSC theme, full site thing. How many of you like code full site thing? Two. So okay, and how many of you like know how to code? Okay, why? Okay, so thank you for your answer because I need those to, based on those, I'll do the demonstration. And okay, first thing is you need the local instance. So if I know some of you have your laptop, I hope that you have your local instance of WordPress. It can be local WP or any other service software that you use to have your local instance of WordPress. And the second thing is you need you need to install Create.theme plugins. So Create.theme, as explained by Arun, is a plugin that's developed by the WordPress community. So it will help you to create a theme based on all the templates that you have designed for site editor. Okay. So excuse me for 1 second. Okay, so basically what will happen is you need to install Create.theme in your local instance of WordPress. So I have mine here. I have my local instance here. Okay. So what you can do is, once you have your local instance of WordPress, it can be local or it can be like on the web, maybe Windows, already, or wherever you use it. So once you have it, what you need to do is you install WordPress plugin as usual. So here you install the Create.theme plugin, right? So you can add new plugins, size Create.theme, it will pop up inside. That's all. You don't have to configure anything. Okay? Okay. So from there, you see the Arun has demonstrated that has shown you during the presentation like how to create those content. So here, what will I do is I will show you like the details of it. Okay, because it's not enough for like how and us also. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll give you just a basic idea how to use how to use a site editor to create those design. We'll create first the design, and after the design, what happens is we export using Create.theme is we export those design. So you can use it somewhere else. Because what happens with site editor is by default, there's no way you can export it. Once you design it, let's say you design it locally, and if you want to push it to your production, what will happen is you maybe have to, if you're a developer, you can just look at the code, copy, save it to a file, and after saving the file, then you move it to the production. But basically, if you don't know code, what happens is it's difficult. Okay. So having this plugin is it will extract all those things that you have designed because it is saved in the database. Extract it, and it will save in a file, and you use only that file. Okay, it's very basic, and you install it on your production site. Okay. Okay, so let's get into action. Okay, so before moving forward, I would like you to know some of the basics file structure of how this, when we save those files, where the file goes, like where the template file goes, where the screenshot goes, where the global style goes, where the button goes, right? So before creating our themes, let's just go back to one of the by the WordPress community, that is 2024. Based on that, we'll see how it is structured. Okay. So if you go to the WP content and inside our theme folder, and if you install the 2024 plugin theme, what happened is these are the file structure. So we have the assets where all the images, because images also can be exported using liquid plugin. Asset will stay inside asset folders, and templates part will get stored in templates. Pattern will get stored inside patterns folder. Style. The different style, remember when Arun shows like, okay, you change one style and you just another global style. This style is like global style, okay? So we have like templates where you store all the templates. Templates means like you have home page, you have blog page, right? And okay, function we will be not touching that because it's not the scope of this workshop, because function is for coding and all this. We are not going to use it in our create function. And we have readme files, you have screenshots, screenshot of your theme. You have the style and the theme.json. Theme.json is basically where all the global styles, configuration, font size, is stored. Okay. Okay. So by default, when you install the latest WordPress theme, by default, when you first install WordPress, by now it is 2024. Okay, 2024 is the default theme. Okay, so you know about the other thing. So what happened is, here is where we get started. Okay, once you install it, and after that you install the create block theme, and the create block theme will appear as sub-menu inside the appearance. Okay, we don't want to go there yet. Okay, because what we need to do first is we have to design our theme, right? We have to design our site. So what you can do is you go from your WP admin and you go to editor, right? From editor, here is where we start designing. Okay. Yeah, I forgot one thing. I'm so sorry. So we have to do this first. Right. Okay, I'm so sorry. So because by default is 2024, we want to create our new theme, and what happens is you go to appearance and create your theme, and on there you have this create new blank theme is your new theme, right? So over here you can give all the description, theme name, theme description, and author. Okay, so let's just put the theme name. Just put miracles, description will be theme, and author will be, let's see, program. Okay, so create and activate blank theme. What this will do is will create a blank theme, okay, and it will create a blank theme for you where you can start designing. Okay, so this is where you get started. So over here, what you need to do is you can go back. Okay, go back to WP admin and show it again. And go back and go to the editor. Okay, because what happened is editors, if you don't create a new theme, what will happen is it will take the design of the current theme. Okay, so you have to, I mean, if you want to create a new theme, if you want to do some edit on the existing theme, you can do that without creating anything. Okay, so for us, it's like we want a new theme, right? And what happened in here is you go to site after you have created a new theme, you go to editor and you have the menu for creating the templates and all the styles, page, pattern, etc. So the first thing we need to do is what do we need in a website first thing? We need a front page, right? So front page is like the home page of your site. So what you can do is you go to design and template. From template, inside template, you can ignore the index for now. Okay? You can ignore the index, and what we need to do is we need to create a new front template. So what we can do is go to add new templates. And there are lots of templates here. I mean, for you want to create a template for what? Then these are all the lists that you can create a template for. Okay. So we can do like front page, blog page, single post. So front page is at the front of your website, and the blog home is where all your blog posts will go. And single post is your single post is where the design for your single for the post. When you open the blog post, that is the design. Okay. So for now, because this session is not about how to use blog editor. Okay. It is about how to use create blog theme. So I'm just designing one simple front page. Okay, one simple front page with menu, with post, and the rest you can build it. Okay, there are tons and tons of resources online where you can use where it will help you how to create templates for different type of pages. Okay, so let's go. We'll create a new front page. Okay. Okay, choose a button. So I will skip that for now. Okay. So what happened here is the front page. We have the header. We have the body. Header means you have the logo and you have the menu, and you have the body. Body you might have let's say hero page and some blog post, maybe some CTA, right? And finally, you have the footer, which is at the bottom of your website. So, header and footer, they are template parts. Okay. So, I'll do template first, then I'll do the template part. So, I'll show you how to create the body section first, then I'll show you how to create the header and the footer. Okay. So, this one is, we have just added it for the front page, right? So, what we can do here is we can start adding our blocks. Okay, there are lots and lots of different blocks, so feel free to explore with them when you have time at home, anytime. Okay, so what I'll do here is we'll set first the global style. Okay, global style. You see that the circle, half dark, half white circle over here. This is where you set all your global style. Okay, you can set your typography, fonts, color, shadow, and layout. Okay, so whatever font you want to install, okay, you can do it from here. So you create from here library fonts. So okay, we can go to install fonts. Okay, based on what font you want, you can go in there. Type the name of the font, if you already know the name of the font, and you install it. Okay, it will get installed on the new thing. So I won't be doing that to save time, and you can adjust the color as well. See, the color, text, background. I mean, this is for global. Whatever background you apply here, whatever text style you apply here, apply globally on all the pages. Okay, so links, caption, button, whatever style you apply to your button, it will apply globally. And the last, we have like headings as well. So whatever style you apply here, apply globally. Okay, so feel free to go through with them. And layout. Layout is you can adjust the size, the width. I mean, this is a global style. So you can adjust the content, how wide should be your content, and how wide should be the space inside when you create those blocks and all. Okay, so feel free to adjust those and see if it suits your need. I mean, you can adjust those small ones. Okay. So for here, I'll just put like okay 1350 and maybe for 110 I'll put like 670. Okay, I'll save it. Okay. Save that one. This is the only way that you can adjust your global stand. Okay. So using those so while okay, so after we save all those global sets, now we started to design our interface. Okay, so I'll just put a new block over here. Okay, I'll just do a quick design, okay? I'll just do a quick design because what happened is you can feel free to adjust. I mean, this is what I'll design, so feel free to do it on your own, okay? So I'll just design a quick front page here. So, okay. Here we have one section which is love. Okay, and so what we're going to do is, I mean, any design, okay, just do a quick design over here. Sorry, so okay, this is not very good design, okay? I'm telling you. So this is, I designed this so that based on what we are going to do, okay? Because this is a new blockchain, this is a new thing. So what we are going to do, so you can do that, okay? You don't have to do this, okay? What we are about to do, you can do that. So what happened is we have, let's say we have created this design, right? And we have this, this is designed for only the body, right? and we can do the design for the header, but okay. We can do the design for okay. So I have the header and I have the body. Okay. I'm so sorry I didn't explain everything because this is not a blog because this is how you use it, right? Because I could not, there's no way that I could populate this. I'm not sure, okay, so I'm not sure if there's a way. If anyone of you knows, feel free to let me know. And if there's anything also that I'm going to do, that because see, I'm no expert. If there's a way, you tell me that this is a better way, okay? Because this is open discussion. So we can discuss about it. So what happened is there is no way that I can populate this at home. Then when I come here, I say, okay, I've already created this, okay? So that's why I'm so sorry to take me like 3-4 minutes to create all of this, right? So I have added a header and I added the body of the page, and I am not add the footer, okay? Because you can add a footer parts inside your templates. You can do that, right? So I have my page here, and we have the header, and we have the body section, right? This is exactly as what we have designed in front end. So now is where Create Block Theme came, okay? So what you can do is you have designed everything, and you're wondering like, how can I have designed this on my laptop? How can I put it over there, right? That is what we want. Initially, there's no way like to, without knowing code, without knowing how to read codes and fetching those files from database, right? So what you can do is now, the community team saw, there's a lot, this functionality is lacking WordPress. So they developed this Create Block Theme plugin. Once you install it, and now since we have already have the design, what we can do is, if I want this to go live on my website, right? What I can do now is I go to Appearance and is Appearance, Create. It should be editor, right? Okay. No, this is correct. We should save it here, right? Yeah. So over here, you go to any templates. Let's say I have edited the front page because it will save only the parts that you have done. Okay, only the parts that you have edited. Okay. So we have saved this, and there's one. Once you install Create Block Theme, there's one setting here. Where is? Just give me a minute, okay? I'm just checking over here. Okay. Okay. Sorry, I think you are right. We have to go to Create Block Themes, and should be here. Okay. So I'm not sure why. I think there's some problem with my local instances, but there should usually there's one button here. Okay, one button with that range icon where it will this icon over there. So you can click that. But my local instance, I'm not sure what's happening, but you can still go to this three button and you go to create block themes. Okay, from here now is where you can export all the design that you have done. Okay, you can either save it.
Huh? It was an export just like the last option was export.
Okay.
Last one.
Last, yeah, that's.
Okay. So I think we have to save it first because I don't know, because I have not used that option export, the option that you just mentioned, this export, right? So like I use this, okay. So it might be that also could be an alternative, but I'm not very sure about what that thing does because as I'm saying, I'm not expert yet. So what we can do is now because we have done the editing part. And okay, that part, I know it's a bit chaos because I just do everything speedy just to save time. Okay, so this is where the magic of save create themes. Okay, so what happened is you have done this, you have edited this one, and what you can do is save. You can go to save changes to theme because we have created and activated that new theme, right? So if you've done this editing, it just saved on the database, which is not on the file structure that we have discussed earlier. You see the template paths and everything, right? So in order to save these changes to that file, what you can do is you have to use save. You can use like save changes to theme. So once you do that, it will present you with this option. Remember, I showed you how to install a font, okay, the font that you want to use. So you can either, if you want to use that same font, you can use save, you can take this save font. If save styles changes, template changes, everything that we have changed, okay, this will save. If you don't take it, whatever you do the changes in fonts, in global style, it will not get saved, okay. So localized text is for translation. And process only modified templates, so that this will save only the templates. This will save only the templates that we have changes, because for us we do the changes only for the front page, right? We have not done changes for anything else. So it will process only the modified text. And localized image, what this happen is localized image. Let's say there's a constant image over here. Okay, I'll just give you a quick example. So let's say I have a constant image. So let's say I have this image over here. Okay, image. This one is not coming from blog post because I want it there. Let's say maybe your CTA button and you have the image next to it. What happens is if you use localized image, this image also will get saved inside the theme file. Okay, so you don't have, like what happens if you don't localize the image, what happens if once you move this theme out of your laptop, when you install it there, the image is not there, right? So you have to take this one, localized image, it will save those images as well inside the theme folder. And the last one is remove navigation reference. Navigation reference is a reference ID to this menu. So every time you create a menu, the WordPress will give one ID for it. So what happens is if you use, my suggestion is if you move it like from local to the new, to somewhere else, it's best to like remove the navigation reference because they might have a different menu navigation, right? So what will happen over there, you can do those changes like, okay, my menu, this is the reference for it, okay? So, when you move it over there, you can edit your menu, okay, from the block editor itself, like we do here. So, let me just, I mean from here, choosing the block, navigation block, you can choosing the navigation block, you can change the navigation. When you are on the new site, then you can use that to change the menu. Okay. So I know it's a bit confusing. I know it's a bit confusing. That's why half an hour is very tight. I have to move fast. I know it's a bit confusing. So what you can do is you can try it out, and I mean, after this, you feel free to reach out to me. Okay, if you have any question or any help, if you want any help. So after, okay, there's remove navigation reference, and the last is after you have select your changes, select your option, and you can do is save changes. Okay, when you do the changes, when you save changes, what will happen is that pop-up will show. Okay, so what actually happened is all the file from the database, all the changes, your design, your global style, everything, okay, everything from global style to templates and everything that you have changes, one image, it will get saved to your theme structure. So now if you go to our theme folder, there should be one folder called this one, okay, this miracle. So if you can see over here, so we have the templates for our front page over here, right, inside the template folder, right? So if you open that, let's open the task in text editor. So it's all code, right? Even if you don't know code, it's there because what the create block thing is used for, right? So we don't need to go through all of those codes. So the create block thing does it for us. So I'll give you one more example because over here I've had one image over here, right? And I didn't check the localized image. What happened is I can save changes over here again, and I can localize image. If I do the changes, hopefully it should save. Okay. So it should save the image actually inside the asset folder over here. Okay, so I'm really sorry. I think there's something happening with my local instances. My icon is the icon is not there, the image also is not saved here, but I mean you get the point. Is you have this great block theme is to export all the things that you have designed. You can save it. And once you are done with the design, what you can do is you can go to appearance, script block theme. You want to once you are ready with your design, you have saved everything and you are satisfied with your design, you can go with export the theme as a zip file. Okay, where you can use the zip file and move it to some other location. I mean, if you want to use it in a production server, you can, a production site, you can add that particular. Okay. So, yeah. Also, one more last thing is, if you want to edit the theme description, screenshot, URL, author, everything is here. I mean, you go to create block theme panel, and you have edit theme meta. Okay, over there you have all the details, you have all the fields that you can make changes like the theme. I don't think you can change the theme name, but you can change everything else. So if you want to change the screenshot also, there's an option for you to change here. So yeah, I think that's all. I know it's fast. But I know it's very fast. Just ignore the block while when I did the block editing things fast. So I mean, this is how you use the grid block. Okay, you can have all this option you can have a theme variants, you can export it, you can create new themes. Okay, so you can even clone the theme. Let's say if we have 24 themes, right? We don't want to edit it directly over there, because what happens is basically the rules is you don't edit the core themes which is developed or something, right? You want to have your own theme, like side themes or maybe a new theme of your own. So what you can do is you can create a clone of it, or you can create a child of the theme child, right? So yeah, that is what the create block theme is. So even if you don't know code, because I don't do anything, I don't code anything over there, right? I just show you how to design and install a plugin, and using the plugin, you can export it, save the file, save the changes, and export those files, move it, if when you move it to the production side and you activate the theme there. Once you activate the theme there, every design that you have done locally, it will move to your production side. Okay, I think I think that's all from my side. So if you have any question, I think I don't know, we still have time. Question, if you have any questions, feel free.
Arun, you want to go for asking some questions?
No questions. Yes.
So let's say I'm a developer who's getting deals in banking and now I'm starting working on FSC.
Yes.
What are the things that I should be getting used to?
I think getting used to is one thing, but the second thing is that if you've been doing it for 15 years, you probably are along.
I stopped doing it.
No, I'm just saying that you probably like code more than doing this. But then the one thing with FSC is that you kind of start, and at some point you will find the need to create your own block or start adding more things into your list. So if you have that kind of experience, there's also a framework that you can use, and it's in JavaScript and PHP. So let's say, I think the one part we saw was that blocks are what make the whole full site editing experience, right? But blocks themselves need to come from somewhere. So if you find yourself limited at some point, it doesn't mean that FSC is limiting you. It's just that you need to figure out who can give you that block that can do it.
I'm talking about more the changes that getting used to using a JSON.
Theme JSON, and yeah, I see.
Resources.
I think there's one thing I like is fullsiteediting.org. I think they have like a tutorial that you can follow that helps you go through this entire editing experience one by one. So they start with the basic and then take you step by step. But there's also a lot of articles, and there's obviously the community support that you can use. You can always reach out. So yeah. You can always reach out and get support if you're not sure on what to do.
So basically what a great block theme does is it helps the developer, but make things easier. Okay, so you already have your design. So if you're a developer, you know how to develop it using the templates, go to code, it's fine, but great block theme is just helping you to export everything. And even if you have existing themes, okay, based on my experience, okay, what happens is even if you have a classic theme, you can do migration to FSC. Even if you don't want to do now only. So what you can do is hybrid. There's a way that you can do hybrid migration, that you migrate one part of your theme file at a time. So maybe front page, you migrate, edit your front page, save it to the market one part of the time. So I would say that the only limitation is ours. So what we have to do is we have to get more knowledge on how this does and what that does. I don't know that everything about grid docking or everything about site docking. So we have to go.
So thank you very much for a very nice session. I have a question. So I'm not. When we had those classic themes, it was at some level easy for the end users to use those classic themes, but it was quite difficult for them to make changes, to modify it in any way. Now, how easy or how difficult it is for end users to modify or change or adopt FSC themes?
If it is using an existing theme, okay, I mean if you already have classic theme, I would say it's not that easy because you at some level you need to know code. Okay.
That is classic theme.
Yeah. Classic theme. I mean from classic to FSC, okay, at some level you have to know code. But if you have like, okay, I already have this classic theme and I want to create the FSC theme, like fully FSC theme, you can create this grid block theme because based on what layout you have, live production over there, you design exactly the same replica on FSC, right? And after you have done that, you can export the theme and activate it on that side. So, which means same design, but just like converting from classic to FSC.
Just to add to that, I think I showed before that with the classic theme you just have limited options that you kind of get. But with block theme you can just click where you want and then you get to change whatever you want to.
So basically I said you are saying that you are getting back to the 90s website.
Yeah.
Every website can have your. How easy it is for the business owner or the client to make changes?
Very simple. At least once the design and those things are in place, then they will need some basic knowledge. Like you can't just, but not as much as classic themes because then you'll have to go to the developer and then ask them to change something there and then you install it again.
Thank you. Yes.
Sorry to mention that actually I'm started a website last month only. And I have done 3 websites, websites. Gutenberg is really so easy to make websites. He tried to block thing, right? We don't need block thing itself. 2024 it's enough to do everything. That's why I'm promising you. Like 10 minutes I'm showing how to build it.
So the Bangalore community next meetup is going on.
No, sir. I'm from Bengaluru.
Okay.
Like 10 minutes I'm showing how to make a complete website.
She's trying to create a community.
Okay, he's trying to do blocking, like you don't need blocking itself.
Yes. Thank you. So the 2024 is the FSC.
Yeah, it's just everything.
Super. Thank you. I would like to add that we don't need things anymore.
Yeah, we don't need things anymore. We don't have other things. Yeah. Shall I explain about how to create your site, right? And we can create an account. And we can give permission and give it permission and they can enter text and images. That's all.
Super.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
I have another question. How do you compare this with Elementor pros and cons or any
So right now, if you see, Elementor is much ahead in terms of mobile and all that. So that's where this is lacking. So if you build using this, it's a bit tricky to optimize for mobile and stuff like that. But this is eventually coming up. With Elementor, it's like you have to install that plugin. So this is just core WordPress. You don't have to worry about anybody owning your site or anything.
But Element is also plugin, right? You can use their plugin.
So this is a create blog theme. It's just a plugin that allows you to create the blog. You can delete once you have created your blog. So with Elementor, it's like you install your design, and if you delete Elementor, your site is gone.
And this is community version.
Community version, yes.
Sir, I also feel the responsibility is problem is there. We will not do so much of responsibility. But using media police, we can do that. Using CSS. So, because the breakpoints are, there are so many breakpoints in there. They only don't take up breakpoints on the next page.
For example, a mechanical problem. When I use it in multiple places, can be used in team pages. So if it is a single method, then there are like three methods. And present I create method for just one method, team member, and for names for different team members. You have a name, create, bio, in sync pattern that would be wrong.
No.
So I want to have different team members, name and bio, and different pages.
Okay, you want different pages to have different
Team members. So pattern is just to show the photo, the name, and the bio. For example, you want to change something. While doing the text there, is that possible?
Thank you, sir. Informative speech. I would call it please to give you all a certificate. This is a certificate that you gave here in language.
Thank you very much. Fantastic session. Fantastic session. Announce the next session will start.
Next session will start soon. You can all have a small tea break. It's for half an hour. So we'll meet you all at 1:05.
introduction about WordPress hooks. Myself, Bigul. And we are taking this workshop together with my friends Shweta and Nebu. We are from WordPress Kerala community. We work for different companies. I work for Auto Systems and she works for BigNet and Nebu works for WPM. We are united because of WordPress and this real community. So let's go to our workshop. This is our agenda. Introduction to hooks, then action hooks, filter hooks, creating custom hooks, best practices, and some few practical examples. Before going to the workshop in detail, I would like to know how many of you are beginners here who are not at all familiar with WordPress or customization. Okay, come on. Okay, and anybody is ready with the WordPress installation here? Okay. So let's go to the details. Okay. Now, introduction to hooks and filters. Anybody use or anybody is very familiar with hooks and filters here? Maybe you have better knowledge than me. Okay. So we are covering what are hooks and filters. Actually, hooks and filters. This is a classification. To avoid the confusion, I would like to share one thing in the beginning. Hooks. Actually, hooks is actions, but in terms of easiness and commonly it is used as hooks. But filter is also classified as so. For the easiness, hooks is classified to two. One is action and second is filter. Okay, but commonly everyone says action as a hooks. Okay, but it is actually action hooks and filter hooks. But the easiness, we simply saying that hooks and filters. Okay. So don't confuse with me. That is why I'm explaining it in the beginning. Okay, and we are checking how they work, why they are important, and the difference between actions and filters. This is why I explained it in the beginning. Okay. In my in this workshop, so maybe we will be using it as hooks, but it will be actions. Okay. Why hooks and filters? So when we are installing WordPress, it will be a very basic one. Okay, we have to activate theme and plugins for the functionality we require or for our customization. Okay, and you know that most of the softwares will be upgrading. Like there will be, in the case of WordPress, there will be 3 major releases each year. Okay? So every year the WordPress is renovated. So the recent one just released a few days back, 6.6. Okay. So instead of making customization to the core files, that is the main reason hooks and filters in general. So when we have to customize or when we have to develop a plugin or theme, we need these two things must, okay, to alter the core files. So as I told you before, that is why hooks is classified to two, actions and filters. Okay, you can in the terms itself you can understand what it is, action and filter. Okay, so hooks will be mainly used for actions, like when you are working, when you are creating a post, etc. That is an action. Okay, when you are creating a new user, that is an action. And in the case of a filter, when you are, it will be used mainly when you are visiting a post, when you are updating a post, etc. Okay. And they are the foundation of WordPress plugin, as I told you before. So when you are creating a custom plugin or a theme, you must need a either you have to use actions or either you have to use filters. So it will help us to keep the code along, and our code will not be making any kind of damage or any kind of issues with the code. So, and another thing is that instead of in the past people used to edit the code itself in the code files. Okay, so what will happen is that when you upgrade to the latest version, you will lose all this thing. Okay, so it will happen often. So that is why the reason hooks and filters intended. Okay. So why you will be thinking that we have a WordPress, it has a lot of functionalities and features. Then why you need hooks and filters? There is a simple. For example, maybe you need a booking website, maybe you need a e-commerce website. So users varies, your usage varies. So that is the reason we are commonly using hooks and filters. Okay. So as I told you before, when we are using hooks and filter, it will be tracking the actions and actions happening in the WordPress site. So somebody is visiting a few particular posts in the front end, or somebody is creating a post as an order for your website, or some client is making a purchase, or somebody is booking, making a booking on your website. In all these cases, these actions and filters that we added to the code will be triggered. Okay, what are actions and filters? Okay, consider we are, all of us are familiar with the cartoons. Okay, so maybe you have seen this kind of images in many cartoons. Okay, Gotham City or Gotham. So, consider we are in a Gotham City. So, this is action, like a Superman. Okay, so in the case when Superman comes in a cartoon or when we are watching, so he will be always coming to hide and in a particular action. Okay, in our case, it's a code. So, actions considered as event, as I shared before, when user login, when saving a post, loading a page, and other predefined actions. For example, the custom, if you are using Google Maps, or if you are using SEO plugin, like etc. Okay. Any doubt? Is it clear? Now we are going to the filters. Okay. So Batman. Okay. Most of the time you will be hiding something. Okay. So if you come to the WordPress ecosystem, the WordPress website, our WordPress site, the Batman, the filter, will be watching the data. It will be always filter the data, and it will make the changes according to our data. Okay. So filters are considered mostly with the contents. Okay. For example, the title, short description, and full content. For example, somebody is visiting your post in a particular from a particular geographical location. So you want to show something different for that content. So the content may be different for the US users or the UK users. So in that case, you can use filters. Okay. Okay. Now we are going to the action hooks specifically. So as we discussed before, in symbol, it will be adding a new functionality to the WordPress. Okay, and it will trigger when an action is happening, like login, creating a user, creating a post, etc. These are the commonly used hooks, like WP head, footer, and init. Init is mainly using for the when we are activating a plugin, deactivating a plugin, etc. Okay, and one more thing. Maybe you are thinking how you can add actions and hooks, actions and filters to a WordPress website. So there are few ways. First of all, you can create a child theme.
Okay, there will be a theme. In the case of theme and plugin also, every theme and plugin will be often come with upgrade. Okay, new versions are coming each year. So you can create a child theme, or you can create a custom plugin for that, and you can also there are many plugins like code snippet plugin. There are many code snippet plugins. So you can install it as a plugin. They have a editor. You can paste your, you can add your code there, and you can even create multiple snippets. So, for example, you only need an action in a particular case. For example, when you are running a promotion. So, in that case, you can just activate that from the snippet, and you can deactivate it when the promotion is over. Okay, so these are the three proceeding ways for adding hooks and filters to your website. Now we are going to the, just giving an introduction. I mean, basic detail about the filters. These are for changing something like changing the content mainly, or processing the content. Okay. Content, I mean, in the means post, categories, that means taxonomies, and pages, etc., or custom posting. So these are the commonly used filters: the content, the title, the WP title. Okay, we will give you a small example after the introduction. Okay. Okay, and custom hooks. Okay. By custom hooks, what is custom hooks? For example, most of us will be, if you have a website, everybody will be using at least one extra plugin than the default one. Okay. So all the plugins and themes come with their own hooks. They have their own hooks. You check WooCommerce, they have a list of hooks and filters. All the popular plugins and themes will have their own hooks and filters, because they don't want to alter the existing WordPress hook, or if they are doing that, they will be creating their own hooks for that purpose. Okay, so that is the purpose of custom hooks. So if you go through the most of the plugins, they will have their own custom hooks, for custom hooks and filters. Okay, and why it is so? For example, most of the people using WooCommerce, they will be also customizing WooCommerce. Like there will be add-on plugins for the WooCommerce. Okay. So in that case, we can use that custom hooks for making the modification in that particular plugin or theme. For example, if you are using Astra theme, or if you are using Yoast, you want something different for your schema or your searching algorithm. So in that case, instead of writing a new hook, you can use their predefined custom hooks. This is the function we have to use for calling the hooks, or creating a hook. First we have to call the action, then we can use that hooks. We will give you a small example after the introduction. And we have to write this in the either child theme or the custom plugin, or in a snippet plugin. Okay, now we are going to cover the best practices by using hooks and filters. So before creating a hooks, always use the existing hooks and filter possible. The one of the best important thing about the papers is that it is very well documented. So if you have a purpose, you can check in the website, and luckily, because of the popular user, you will find a lot of information about each default hooks and filter we are going to use. Okay, you will find it. If you, in the case of the famous one like WP, the head hooks or the footer hooks, you will find at least 100 examples. Okay, with the detailed tutorial. So always check there is any specific hook actions and filters for your purpose. And when you are creating when you are calling a hook or filter, just follow the WordPress naming convention, like small letter, underscore, okay, like creating a function. and always document your hooks and filters. So it will be, for example, if you are working in a company, you are creating some code and you are creating a hook with a custom theme, customer or child theme or a custom plugin, well documented. So it will be useful for you also and your colleagues also. And especially if you are selling that plugin, it will be very useful. So if somebody want to alter it, they will get a better understanding of that. And most importantly, maybe you had the performance issues. Okay, maybe mostly had that the WordPress is affecting the performance, and my site is not loading. Okay, maybe you have multiple tabs. Okay, so when you are creating a filter, especially filters, because that is managing the content. Okay, be careful. It will not affect the site performance. Okay, and also maybe most of the time we will be using multiple plugins and a theme with a lot of functionalities. So when we are writing a hooks or filter, please consider you are setting the priority. So you can set the priority while calling the hooks and filters. Okay, and this is the most important thing. Always use a good data. Don't use raw data, and don't keep it there for a while because it may affect your security and performance. So we just covered the basics, and now we are going to the practical example. Okay, if you have any doubt, please feel free to ask. I welcome my friend Shweta to give the practical examples.
As Bigol has already told, there are two types of hooks, action hook and filter. This is the syntax of action hook. This is how we use action hook in WordPress. This is, first one is the hook which we are using. Already we could told that WP head, WP footer, not audible? Okay. Already we could told that there are three hooks, mainly use three hooks, WP header, WP footer and WP end. This is the syntax, how we can use this basic syntax for using action hook. This add action, hook name, your function name, priority, accepted arguments. Priority and accepted arguments are not optional values. It's not a compulsory values. Hook name is the one where we want to hook this code. The function that we are using, where we want to hook this code, that is the hook name. It may be WP head, it may be WP footer or init or other predefined hooks. Then this is our function name. I will show you the example. Then the priority. Priority starts from 1 to 10. Default it will be always 10. If you want to run your code in higher priority, you can give it the value as between 1 to 10. This is the first code. Are you able to see that? Zoom in. Code. Zoom in.
Are you able to view now?
This is the first code. Before running the code, I will show you the site to site. Basic, we have used 2021 theme, basic installation of this website. Here in console you can see there are no messages printed here. This is the console. Here we are writing in console. You know the console, right? In console, we are going to print a message, good morning, WordPress. This will be run when header is loaded. WordPress can header, you know the header tag in HTML and all, header tag, body tag. When the header tag is loaded, it will check for this hook. Any hook is called, WP head hook is called. If yes, this code will be run. Here you can see, good morning WordPress. This is a simple example of WordPress page. This is another hook. This is remove action. If we are using an add action always, if you want to remove already existing hooks that are running in the WordPress, we can use remove action. This is the main function used to remove default WordPress running functions. Here we are doing remove action WP head, same hook we are using WP head, where WP generator code is removed. WP generator is a meta tag that is displayed in the header of the WordPress code. It will be removed when we are using this specific. I remove generator. Save. Generator. Yeah. Here you can see name generator WordPress version is on. It is WordPress 6.6. If we remove that hook, it will be removed. Save here. Yeah, it is removed. Now that meta tag is removed. Generator. We can add the hook using add action, and also we can remove the hooks using remove actions. Next we are covering the next example, that is add filter. Filter means it will be working with the content, the title and WP titles. Here we are hooking in the content session. In the content means it will be affected in every post page and the page, WordPress pages and post. Here we are doing make the content string to upper, that every content string will be converted into uppercase. Now it is normal. Now the content is converted into uppercase. These are the simple hooks that we can use. This is a remove filter. This, if a content is having automatic P tag, paragraph tag, it will be removed by using this remove filter, the content WP auto. This is another example of add filter. Here in post, some posts there will be estimate reading time, will be there at the top of each post. So we can add the same thing in our post like this. This is a simple code which is used to calculate the time, calculate each word of the post, and then dividing, and calculation is done here, and it will be returned a value. That is estimated reading time, and it will return a value. It will be displayed
along with the content.
Yes, along with the it will be displayed along just above the content. Here we don't have any estimated type now. Yeah, here you can see estimated reading time 1. Okay. Do you have any doubt in this? Hooks and filters? Everything okay, right?
Okay, I'll tell something about custom hooks first. I mean, as we will already explained, hooks and filters are used to extend the functionalities without touching the core code of the WordPress. Likewise, for any plugins or themes that we build, we can derive our custom hooks and filters, so that another developer or someone using our product or our theme of plugins won't need to edit the core files of a plugin or the theme. This is where custom hook comes into the light. Likewise, for example, I am working as Google told I am working with WP New. We have a couple of plugins. One of our plugin formulator is a form builder. So our customers always require additional functionalities which is not already provided with the plugin. So what we do is we'll provide them with these hooks and filters in our plugin. So these customers, our members can hook to this what we are providing and extend the functionality of the plugin. So this comes for the developers who are using, building their products to use the custom hooks. This is for them to use the custom hooks for extending providing the capability of extending their plugins and themes. Okay.
If you are building a theme or a plugin, you just need to add a hooks somewhere in the plugin. If you want to, if you are commerce, in WooCommerce, we can take example of WooCommerce. In WooCommerce, if you are used it, we can make any changes in WooCommerce with the pre-built, predefined hooks provided by the WooCommerce. So like that, if we are building a plugin and we want our users to make changes without touching the core file of our plugin, we can use this custom hook called do action. Do action in this line. We need to write this code of line wherever we want to hook the code in our plugin. If we want to hook in content section, we just need to write this do action my custom hooks. I have already written this in my plugin. Then after that, if a user is using this, they need to use this like this. They need to write a code function with something they need to print, and they have to call this function with add action with the hook name that I have provided in my plugin. The hook name with the function name. Hook name and the function name. Hook means the hook that I have already provided in my plugin, and the function that you are calling to trigger in that specific. Understood? This is how we used to do a custom hooks.
So the WP header and WP footer that we saw in the beginning is already defined like do action, WP header, do action, WP footer in the WordPress core. That's why we are able to hook into that using that action.
WordPress have already defined those hooks with do action in the core file of WordPress. So we are able to add action or customize that hooks. Do you have any doubts? Anything?
Two different plugins using the same thing, and what is the problem?
That's why we, in the beginning, people already told we should follow some conventions that WordPress, there is a standard coding procedures that we should follow. Like we should try to bring uniqueness to the functions that we are using. Okay, if like you asked, if we are if we are naming our hook that is already used by WordPress or some other plugins, it will create a conflict and it will result in a failure.
So before you are customizing a hook, you need to check whether it is already defined or not. After that only, if it is not there, you can customize the hook. Okay.
That is why we are setting the priority, the optional value. So the number will get higher priority.
These are the same code that we have already discussed. Hello. Full screen. This is the remove action. Filter syntax. Filter name, filter function name, the priority, and the acceptable arguments. This is that code that the content is string of the content is converted to uppercase. Remove the custom hook. Any questions, doubts?
Anybody want to try the examples in your laptop? Okay. So you will get an idea about basic idea about what WordPress hooks and filters. Okay. So you will get an idea about what WordPress hooks and filters. Okay. If you have any doubts, please feel to bring us. Okay. Thank you. This is the motto of WordPress. Actually, the WordPress ecosystem. Learn. All of us are here to learn new things, then connect between us and contribute. Because all of you know, WordPress is this much popular only because of the beloved community and ecosystem it has. Okay. And if anybody need the slide, please feel to ping us. I will share with you, and I will also share few of the link we have used for the preparing this slide and workshop. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you for such an excellent and informative speech.
Thank you.
I would call Arun to give you a result.
Okay, I would like to thank very much for the opportunity.
The second mail ID.
Yes.
Gmail.
Gmail. Sorry. Typo. It's a typo. Sorry.
Yeah.
Same place.
I have another session.
Excel in solving complex problems, managing project and supporting merchant through significant site transaction.
Thank you for the intro that I wrote myself. Hi everyone. So my name is Sudhanshu. I work for WooCommerce. So today we are going to talk about debugging performance. So you do not need a laptop. What we are going to do is we are going to work through several scenarios that I will present to you on the screen, and we will try to work through them. What's wrong, what's going on, and how can we go about fixing it. So here we are. So first I'm going to walk you through some theory, some basics on how things happen, or in general when you get stuck in performance issue, what to do, where to start, and what are the things that are probably going wrong. But first thing to know is that WordPress is a scalable system. You can scale WordPress to do whatever. So we have some very prominent sites using WordPress, using WooCommerce, handling millions of requests per month, handling millions of requests per day, but it's not pre-scaled. So often, depending upon the site, depending upon the work that you're doing, you would have to put in the work to actually scale it. That said, it can scale to like handle a lot of traffic, handle a lot of load. We have been handling thousands of orders per minute for WooCommerce. We have been handling millions of views per day or per hour for WordPress. So yeah, so you can scale it like very far, but it does not come pre-scale. So we'll talk about how to think about scaling, how to grow the site, how to grow basically. Okay. So these are some of the things that people do. So when you start with a site, you can start with like very reasonable hosting. Like often I've seen that people start with like $10 setups or $20 setups, which work to some extent. But as your client or as your site or as the plugin that you write, as you hit different growth milestones, you will see that people are complaining that your site is slow. You will yourself experience that site is slow. So generally, these are the common things that people do. You will try to find some bottlenecks that you will want to resolve. You will upgrade your servers. You will use additional technologies. We will talk about which thing to do in what scenario. We will talk about what makes sense. Are you at a point where you just need to update the server? Are you at a point where you need to profile a request? Are you at a point where you would want to export some of the things that you are doing on the database to an alternate technology? Right. So yeah, so let's start with a scenario. Okay. So you are hosting a site, or your plugin is hosting a site. The site is not responding. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. But as the performance expert, you are called upon to fix it. So basically, I call you, this expert group of people, and I try to figure out what's going on. So only thing that I can tell you is that sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. I get 500 to error responses, but even if when it does work, it's very slow. Is there anyone who has been into this situation before? So what did you do?
So I'm WordPress I handle like a lot of e-commerce. So in those, if we have the orders history, if we have like 100 orders at the same time, if we display it gets slower.
Okay, so basically it's a page that is very slow.
Yeah.
But other parts of the site are working fine. What happens if your site is not working fine? Like none of the pages are working fine.
Contact your service provider.
You can do that, but often you will see that service provider either send you a quotation that you upgrade your plan, but ultimately it will be upon you to fix your site, right? You have to take a call whether upgrade. So upgrading server can be a right choice in many scenarios, but this is something for you to figure out. So I get called on a lot of these things, a lot of times, more time than I like. So these are the general things that I do, which is, so this is something that you will want to do for any sort of performance problem, like not just WooCommerce WordPress or like WordPress ecosystem, but even if you work with anything, like any web application, even with any application, these are some, I will go into details in some of them, but these are the kind of steps that you will want to do. So first of all, if you are having a performance problem, if you are seeing 502 error codes, some resource is getting blocked, right? Like something is not working as expected. There is at least one resource, there could be more than one, but there is at least one resource that cannot handle the load that currently you are dealing with. Okay. So the first step you want to do is you want to list out all the resources. So in general, for a WordPress site, you will have your database, you will have your the server that site is running on, you will have Memcache, you will have PHP workers, you will, like basic things, right? But for a particular web application, there could be more things. If you have a more complicated setup, you will have a remote file system. If you could have load balancers, you could have Memcache, you could have Elasticsearch cluster. But ultimately, you will have one or more resources that are currently blocked, that are currently not working as expected because they cannot deal with the load that you have. Okay. The second thing I do is I try to find out which of these resources are currently blocked. Okay. And then depending upon what resource it is that is blocked, I try to fix it. So the third point is kind of depending upon what is blocked and what can you do in those situations. But generally, you want to list out the resources, you want to identify bottleneck, build that first. Okay, so we are just going to go through in some of the example scenarios that we have. So I got this problem. So I'm a newbie developer. I am handling a very important client, like the 90% of business of my agency comes from this client. And they called me and they told me that site is not working. Like we don't know what's going on. So I know this command called top. This top command will list out some basic things, right? So for people who are not familiar with the top, so this is output of a command called top. Those who are not familiar, it will basically list out all the processes that are running on your server. And it will list out some basic statistics, how long they have been running, the memory they are consuming, the CPU they are consuming, and all that, right? So I log in, I run this command, this is the output I get, and I call you, the expert people in performance debugging. Can you tell me what's going on? Like, what's wrong? Why is the site not working?
There's no free memory, very low free memory.
This 92.1 MB? So out of 2 GB, what was your name again? Okay. So he says that we have very less memory. Very low memory. Okay. Any other clues that we can get from this? Feel free to come up and see the screen if it's not visible. But yeah, so this is the output.
CPU percentage is high.
Okay, so he says the CPU percentage is very high. So, which is at 88.7% currently. Okay. So what we are currently doing is, we are listing the resources. In this box, we have CPU, we have memory, we have network bandwidth, we have some other things, but let's focus on CPU and RAM, which are the most common resources that are going to be bottlenecked. Okay. So we have two cases, we have RAM and we have CPU. Okay. Anything else going on?
MySQL is using a lot of.
MySQL is using a lot of what? Is it using a lot of CPU or is it using a lot of memory?
Despite database uses memory.
Database uses memory, correct? Okay, let's see. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, for the resources that I have, I'm going to dive into it one by one. So what I did is, first of all, I checked the memory. I see that so this is 92 MB free, but then Linux also has a lot of buffer memory, which is 800 MB. If needed, Linux will give it to a process if it needs it. Right now, I see many requests that are currently being, so basically each PHP FPM is a web request. I see that many have been served, but it's fine. But I'm anyways going to see. So there's this command called free-m, which tells you how much memory is currently free. I see that Linux can allocate 650 MB of memory if a process needs it. Okay, so which means that out of the list of resources that we have, RAM is not the one that is bottlenecked. Okay, so next guess was CPU. So I went into the, so let's go into CPU. Okay, so what do we see? So this command is called SAR. So this is, so if you're in a system admin, you would be familiar with this command, like most likely you would be familiar with this command. But for those who are not, what it does is that you can tell which resources to inspect, and then it can either inspect the resources, so it can list it on your command line, or you can redirect it to Elasticsearch or the Kibana instance where you can see it in log. So often when you are seeing like a graph, like what the CPU usage is, what the RAM usage is, it's probably populated by output of this command. Like it's printed every second. So you will see that it's, it sends your data every second. Right? I do see that CPU is blocked. Like it cannot go past 90% and it's hitting 90% a lot of time. So which means that currently in this site, the main problem is that my CPU is blocked. Okay. To fix it, what I'm going to do? Okay. So short-term improvements, you can upgrade the server. That is one, which we did in this case. So basically it was running on a toplet, so we just upgraded the CPU provisioning on the toplet and it worked fine. In this case, it happened when they were running an ad campaign, and in that ad campaign, the site was not able to deal with the traffic. But long term, you want to profile requests, basically. So the CPU usages, high CPU usages usually come when request is doing a lot, when there are slow queries, when there are like something else is blocked. So as I said, you would have to list the resources, you would have to find the bottlenecks. Okay. So so let's see what we did long term. Okay. So so let's say you solve the immediate problem. You, for this client, you upgraded the CPU, you are on your way. But then the running on a high-end machine is, first of all, it's expensive. And there is a limit to which you can do it, right? Like at some point the client is going to come and tell you that, you know, why are you like increasing my hosting bill every month, right? So you do want to get into a complete picture. You do want to figure out what a request is doing. You do want to see what, you know, like where are you spending your time, where the request is spending your time in. Maybe you are a plugin developer, right? People are complaining that your plugin makes your site slow. So you want to figure out where does your plugin spend their time, where does other plugins on the site spend their time, right? So there are two common, so there are a lot of tools that you can use for that. These are my two favorites. So one is called PHP SPX, which generates flame graph. So in the next slide there's a flame graph, so I will take you through it. How does it look like and what does it do? There is query monitor, which many of you I'm sure would be familiar with. It basically lists out the queries that are running on the server, which is a very common tool that people use to figure out what's, you know, like what's where the CPU time is being spent or where the memory time is being spent. Okay. So this is generally so this is the output of the flame graph from PHP SPX, but it could look something different also. So if you are using, for example, Neuralink also generates some flame graph, it will look different. Actually work profiling also generates a flame graph, it will look different. But the basic thing is, it will tell you, so for example, this request took 2.2 seconds, okay. It will tell you what are the code path, you know, what are the, like how much time is spending, like how much time was spent in actually doing what request. So this is something that we at WooCommerce use a lot. We try to figure out, you know, why are we putting so much load on the site when there is a complaint about performance issues. We figure out what functions are, you know, going to be called a lot, what functions should be cached. So you can see, for example, that apply filters is, like in a request, apply filter is called like 52,000 times. There is this Google iterator that is being called 45,000 times, right? So these are the things that, you know, you want to look at, you want to optimize, you want to figure out what's going on. So in general, this will tell you where you're spending your time. We use it a lot, and I recommend that you do the same when you have to profile a request. Okay. So let's do one thing. So this was flame graph of a request that was taking a lot of time, but it was not like very apparent what we want to do. But we did one thing, which changed the flame graph from this graph to this graph. Okay. So earlier it was 2.2 seconds, now it's 1.2 seconds. Would anyone want to comment what we did? Like there is a hint in this image somewhere about what we did, what we earlier did not do, which is a common thing to improve your request performance. Would anyone would like to take a guess at what we did?
Actually.
Okay. Fine guess. Anything else?
Okay. Can you show the previous picture? Show that one and then.
Okay, yeah, so this is the previous one, this is the next one. If you want, you can, like, I'm not sure if it's really visible, so if you want, you can come at the top and, like, come here and. So this is the graph now. So you will see the hint here. Yep, that's one. What else?
We use
object caching right now. Yes, we are using object caching now. So which is something that you answered. Yeah. So in these two, we saw that persistent object caching. So they had enabled object caching this side, this particular side, but it was not connected to a like they were running a Memcache instance, but like they were not connected. So we enabled that connection and basically made the persistent caching work. And just on enabling the persistent caching, we got the request from 2.2 seconds to 1.2 seconds. So there are some common things that you can do to improve the performance. So we are going to be running through many of these scenarios, you know, like in this workshop, in what was wrong, and I will ask you to figure it out, and you can ask me as many questions as you want. But let's see. So there is this another tool that I wanted to give you. Like this tool, many people would have been. So basically, this is output of a query monitor, and it tells you which queries are so. So for example, this is an order search query. We see that order search query is very. Okay, I didn't realize this was touch screen. Anyways, so yeah, so order. So in this case, for example, search query is slow. So it will tell you what queries are slow. Usually, slow query will not only take the time, they will also put a lot of load on the CPU. So if you have a lot of slow queries in a common path, it's absolutely going to trash your CPU. So you would want to cache it, you would want to remove it, you would want to optimize it or do whatever, but like do not have a slow query in a common path, in a common request path. Okay. So these are some of the common anti-patterns that we have noticed as we have debugged issues, as we have tried to improve performance across many sites in WooCommerce plugin itself. But so first is the N+1 anti-pattern. So this is so this is not very easily detectable. But basically, what you do is you have a query that fetches something. Let's say it fetches 10 record, and for each of those 10 record, you do another query. So you basically end up doing 11 query, whereas you could have just done like one query to fetch all the records in a single go. So for example, you do a get post, you get a list of 10 posts, and then you are iterating over them again and doing get post meta or get post or whatever like inside a loop. So basically, you end up doing like 11 queries instead of this one. This is one of the common anti-patterns, like probably the most common anti-pattern that we have seen, which brings down the site performance. You can fix it by either fetching in bulk, either pre-caching it, either hydrating the cache, or we recommend fetching in bulk. Like that's what I recommend. Then we have slow query, which we have been talking about just now. That you could have slow query in your, if you have slow query in your common path, it's going to absolutely thrash the database. We have this thing called loading too much. So for example, when you build a site, you will add like a lot of things. You will add like 10,000 different things in the sidebar. You would have 10 components here, 10 components there. Each component is doing 2-3 queries on the front end. Each component is adding a lot of load. So even though nothing in particular is very slow, overall your site is still taking 1 to 2 seconds just to load, right? So that is something that you would want to avoid if you have to do it. If you want to create a very rich experience, you would either want to cache as much as you can, hydrate the cache as much as you can, or otherwise just load less. Then there's this thing called escape hatches. So many, as a plugin author, this is something that you need to keep in mind, that wherever you are doing a lot of work, you should provide like a hash and hatch like a filter, that if it returns anything other than null, then you would basically kill the function, like not do the function at all, and just rely on the results of whatever is returned. So this allows people to do. So this allows people to do to use other technologies such as Elasticsearch or Redis, which are faster than MySQL, to do some sort of workloads, and they can integrate into it, and they can use those escape hatches to prevent that MySQL slow path and use something else. So this is something that WordPress does a lot. Like WordPress query itself can be escape hash like this, and reroute it to Elasticsearch or to Redis or to something else. And if you are a plugin developer, I recommend that you build these hatches around like slow code paths that you must have. Okay. So these are some of the common request improvements that you do. You add caches to heavy queries, you add caches to, so repeated queries is basically N+1 query pattern. You can cache it to, not do that. You can hydrate heavy computation earlier. So basically sometimes what we do is that if a component is, if a component takes a lot of time to load, we run it in cron, we generate the, what it would look like, and we will cache it. And then when someone actually requests it, it will just read from the cache and not from the, not committed real time. Then you have a lot of DB optimization that you can do, which is indexes, custom tables, which we did with HPS very recently in WooCommerce. And like with DB, there's a lot of things that are possible. But in general, you do not want slow queries or just like lot of queries in the common path. So like these are some of the common things that you can do. Same for server. You can add CDN, you can add dog cache, you can offload a lot of heavy parts to Elasticsearch and Redis. You can upgrade your server, which is a thing that you would want to do at least in stress environment, or at least when you have to get the site out of that 502 loophole. But ideally you do want to then come back and profile the request and figure out what was actually wrong and if updating the server was the right one. Okay, so while I take a question, I will also walk you through some scenarios. So before we go into the scenarios, so the boring part is over, the theory is over. So we'll jump into scenarios now. But before that, any questions?
Can you give some example of escape hatches?
So the most popular example of escape hatch that I know is WP query. So you know WP query, right? So when you load a page, like it does a WP query to get all the posts that are supposed to be rendered. So there's this function called WP query post, and if you use that filter, and if you return anything that is not a null value, it won't do that query at all. So if you have meta queries, you can have whatever, it won't do that query, it will just return those results.
Even
before it goes to the database. Yeah. So before it goes to the database, it will just return immediately based on whatever you have written, which is not a null. And there's this plugin by Tanop called Elasticpress, which uses that filter to reroute all the MySQL query to Elasticsearch. So this is one of the ways where you can use these escape hatches, or you can allow the operators of the site to use escape hatches to speed up their deployment. So it won't be used by everyone, like the escape hatches won't be used. So this is what I meant by WordPress is scalable but not pre-scaled, is that Elasticsearch is not a requirement from the get-go, or Redis is not a requirement from the get-go, but if you have those, if you are in a position where you can operate those, it will allow you to scale up way faster. So that's an example of escape hatch. Okay. Does that? Yeah.
You mentioned hydration. What's that?
So hydration is, let's say there is a component. Let's say you are displaying product recommendations to every user on a page load, right? This product recommendation depends upon the products that they have previously purchased. If there is any sale running based on the some profiling that you have done on the user. So which means that which means two things. First of all, that content is going to depend upon the user, right? The user that is logged in, that will change the product that is being recommended. So that's one. And the second thing is you cannot cache it for everyone, right? You cannot just apply a blanket WP cache on top of it and just be done with it, right? So this means that this heavy computation is going to be rendered in the front page when user is loading the site. And you ideally would not want it, right? Because that's a lot of DB queries or a lot of computation that is happening just on the page load. To fix this, hydration is so this is something that people use a lot, like this product recommendation is somewhat common in e-commerce. And to do this properly, people would, so for the users that they have, they would generate, they would run this script that, that figures out what product they want to recommend to them. And for each user, they would already store it in the database what they want to recommend to them. So whenever user logs in, then it's just like a small single query and they can just use it to display the products. So this is basically hydration. So
just like caching.
Yeah. So it's like caching, but it's not, you're not using the same method. Like it's cache per user or it's caching with extra steps.
So instead of using transient or duplication, create a different table.
You create a different table and you store the computed result there already.
So one question. So how to find the bottlenecks? Simple. There is any tool?
You look at the frame graph.
That's right.
Yeah. So you generate. So the PHP space is one tool, but there is also New Relic. There is also there's New Relic. So New Relic is paid, it's expensive. PHP Speaks is free. It's free, I like it the most because it's open source. But then New Relic, I've heard that it's the easiest to use, which you can just plug it in. Often, if you are hosting with a managed WordPress host, they could also have a flame graph. They could also have a tool for flame graph, and they could send you where you're spending your time. You can also do some basic profiling with Query Monitor also. It will tell you which are the key components where you're spending most of your time in. It would tell you if there are slow queries on the site. You would want to use flame graph if the Query Monitor is not very helpful. You will want to use, but if Query Monitor is helpful, it tells you the slow queries and you should start there. You don't need to go to the flame graph before you fix all the things in Query Monitor. Any other question? So we are going to jump into stereos. So again, I'm a new developer. I'm managing a client which is 90% of agency's revenue, and they say to me their site works fine, but the checkout and add to cart takes 10 seconds. Okay, so I called you this group, and I want to know how to optimize it. So remember, we are on a call, so you can ask me a question. I will run this command and I will tell you what's going on, or you can just ask Like we don't need to run the command, you can just ask me, what's going on with that or what's going on with this, and I'll tell you what's happening. And then you have to help me figure out what's wrong or how can I fix it. So feel free to start again asking questions here on the call.
Looks like that the site is using cache plugin.
Sorry?
It looks like the site might be using cache plugin.
Site might be using
cache plugin. Cache.
How do you come to that conclusion? So he's saying that site might be using a cache plugin. I want to know how to. So again, remember the steps, right? You identify, you list all the resources, you inspect all the resources, and then only you can figure out what's going on, right? So right now you guess, okay? But I want to know how did you come to that guess?
Most of the time checkout is cache is visible.
Sorry?
Checkout page is mostly cache is visible.
Checkout page cache is disabled, add to cart cache is also disabled. But
post table is really large.
Okay, so you want me to take a look at the database? Okay, so I checked, and apparently post table is not like extremely large. It's fine. It's like 250 MB. It's like it has, let's say, 20,000 posts. The meta table has 200,000 records, but it's not like the RAM that it is running on is the 8 GB, so it's not, it can deal with it. Like it should be able to deal with it. If I open shop page without cache, it takes like 1 second. Just that dart, add to cart and checkout takes 10 seconds. So what's happening?
How much content do we have on checkout? Do we have some cross-sell, upsell products?
It has less content than shop page, which is faster. Again.
Okay, so I would like to, first of all, like to see the output of query.
Okay.
Which queries are being used? Is there any queries?
Okay, right direction, but no slow query. Like, no right direction, you are going to the right direction, but there is no slow query. There is no slow query on the cart page, there is no slow query on the checkout page. What do you want me to check? I have all the tools. I have all the tools. Sorry?
Are we making requests outside to?
How do I check that? So again, this resources.
WP remote
Yeah, but how do I, as a new developer on the site, how do I? So I do have access to all the tools that I told you. I have access to a flame graph. I have access to the query monitor. I have access to all the CPU, RAM, whatever it is. How do I check if there is a remote request? Okay. And the flame graph will come up in query monitor also shows HTTP request. Okay. So turns out there is external request which takes 5 seconds, 5 to 8 seconds depending, and what this request is doing is it checks what are the shipping options available based on what are the contents in the cart that I display to the user. Okay. So now we have figured out, this expert group of people have figured out what the problem is. How do I fix it? Like what do I just tell the client that deal with it, or can I do
cache the responses of the certain pin codes and all?
Yeah, correct. So basically this request also happens on add to cart. So an approach that I can do is whenever someone adds to cart, I can do this request then and there only. I can catch that response, and on checkout then I won't have to compute that again, and I can just display the results. Yeah. So this is what we actually did. This was actually what's wrong. But again, basically list out all the resources, figure out what's wrong, try to fix it. Okay. Let's see what else. Okay, so this one is little bit tricky, but let's see. So we have a setup. So there is a load balancer. There are 3 WordPress servers serving that, serving those requests, and there is a DB cluster that is connected to these 3 WordPress instances. In these 3 WordPress instances, they are sharing a lot of things. They have a common Memcache server. They have a common file system. They have as I said, they have a common load balancer. And after the latest, so I'm a new developer again, right? I do not know anything. So I'm a new developer again. I don't know what's going on. All I know is that there was an email about upgrading your server or something like that, and after that the site is not working at all. There are 500 all around. There's super slow. So what do I do? Sorry.
PHP cache might not be cleared. PHP cache might not be cleared.
Like the awk cache. Yeah. How will it go on a slow site? It will go 500 errors, but not slow site.
What was the recent update then?
It doesn't tell me. It just says that congratulations, you have successfully upgraded your platform. Now you are with the latest and the greatest. All the best. That's all the bill says.
Check the version of the WordPress, PHP, Apache.
So no. I want you to go back again, list all the resources, inspect all the resources, find the bottleneck. So what do you do? What are the resources we have here? Okay, there is no slow query. So first of all, the site is not working properly, so I cannot take a look at the slow query properly. But let's say I have SSH access to all the servers that are running. So I logged into the MySQL server, I checked the slow query log manually, and there are no slow queries.
Is one of the DB clusters failing?
Good approach. I checked it, it's not. DB is working fine. So I connected to DB directly, I run some queries, it's fine. What else? List all the resources, inspect all the resources, find a bottleneck. So what are the other resources that we have in this?
Load balancer.
Okay, load balancer is one resource.
Cannot cause problems.
I check it anyway. I log into I SSH into the instance that is running the load balancer. The CPU, the RAM graph, everything is fine. There's no spikes, there's no peak, there's nothing. It's very stable. What else can I do? I'm on the phone. Client is really bugging me. Come on. Again, list all the. So what did we inspected earlier? Earlier in the slide, what was wrong? In one of the sites that we did inspect. Before that, the first example that I show you. There was this example, right, where I show you this top command output, and what was wrong? CPU was fine. Okay, so let's say I check the CPU. I go into each of the server again. So I log into the server that is running the load balancer, that's fine. I log into the different server that are running my DB clusters, they are fine. As soon as I log into the web server, I see that my CPU is full spec. Okay. So I know that something is off with the CPU since the latest update. Okay. So what's wrong? What can I do?
What about the memory?
Memory is fine.
Any update is still going on?
Update was done. I got a message that congratulations.
Why don't you put the production directly?
Restart the.
You should try to do staging first.
No, we use the flame graph.
So in this case, if your CPU is affected, so in this case, the error that is coming on is not from the WordPress stack. It's not coming from the WordPress stack. It's definitely related to the update that they did.
Restart the server.
Okay, I restarted. Still the same issue. Which I actually did. I initially just restarted the server because that usually fixes a lot of problems.
This is why I don't touch the production directly for staging.
No, but in this case,
Permissions.
sorry,
High permissions.
it's related.
Inodes.
It's related.
So when PHP update inodes.
So I log in, I check, I run that SAR command, which tells me the CPU. So you can use that same command to inspect other things as well. I see that my disk I/O is very high since the last update. Along with the CPU, my disk I/O is also very high. I remember I told you that in this setup, there is a remote file system mounted. So this file system is mounted to serve the upload priority, like the to upload the gallery, to upload the media. So what we were doing there is, we had this directory which had all the media files, and it was mounted so that if someone uploads it, we can still access it and from everywhere because it's a multi-server setup.
Regenerate commits.
Okay, now you are guessing. You cannot guess. Although that won't solve the problem. For what is what, it could solve the problem for a related issue, but not really. So as I said, my disk I/O was super high. I took a look. It turns out that when they did the upgrade, there was a bug which was messing with the remote file system library that we have been using, and it was basically running into some infinite loop somewhere. So what we did is we killed that remote file system setup. We copied all the files into each of the individual setup. We set up a quick housing, and then basically when we killed that remote file system setup, then it again started working also. So in this case, that's what happened. But just to, so what I wanted to tell you is that the issue can be from everywhere, can be from anywhere. And you, again, the thing that really works is that you list out all the resources, you go in them one by one, you inspect it, and then you figure out what's the bottleneck and try to fix. Okay, let's see. Okay, so this is again, very common thing. Site works fine, there is no traffic, all's good.
Most probably caching them.
You are now seeing caching everywhere. Again, list all the resources, identify the bottleneck. So what do we do here first? See, it's probably caching, I agree. There is nothing that cannot be solved by invasive enough caching. Okay, you can cache, like, if you are able to, if you're in a scenario where you can just cache the HTML output for every user, then there's nothing that's going to be faster than that, like for sure, right? But you're not always going to be in that scenario. The site would be too dynamic, the site would be too affected by user, there would be security issue, there would be data leak issue. So you cannot cache all the things all the time. So yeah, what we do here? Again, list all the resources, identify bottleneck, fix. What do you see? Okay, so I go in. CPU usage climbs too high when there's a lot of traffic, like it goes to 70-80%. Memory is fine, there is some buffer during the peak load. So maybe they are fine, but still site takes like a lot of time. So it works fine when there's less traffic, but otherwise it takes a lot of time.
Update is we're running long queries.
You might be. Should I check?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So I checked. We are not running like a small slow query, but we are running a lot of queries. There are a lot of things that are going on with the site. Like it has like a category bar which is displaying like filtering 45,000. So it's let's say it's a car part shop. It sells parts for different cars. And when I filter it, there's like 45,000 products filtered. There are sometimes like 70,000 products filtered. There are each categories. There is like just a lot going on. There are 4 or 5 different attribute filters. It's customized per user. There's product recommendation. There's all sort of things going on. So there is a lot of queries, just not a slow query, but like a lot of queries. So what do I do?
First of all, we have to reduce the content on the website.
Correct.
We have so much.
Correct. Yeah.
Maybe we can load a bit from its own using Ajax. We can cache it per user hydration.
Yeah. Yep. So in this case, so this is kind of like, these are the worst kind of performance issues that you would have to face. Where basically there is like, nothing overly wrong with the site. There is no slow query that you can immediately fix. There is no remote file system that's going off. There is no, like, database is not under hashing load, CPU is not under hashing load. Just that you're doing a lot, which so the website data look really nice. When you have like a lot of things going on, they could look nice depending upon the site that you are building. Depending upon, like, not all sites are minimalistic, some sites are very. And in those cases, you are just doing a lot. And then to scale those sort of sites, you would do what you said, right? You would hydrate as many components as you can. You would cache as many things as you can. So in this case, that's what we did. We tried to cache the output, like, we cached a lot of output from shortcode. So shortcode also provide an escape hatch, which I talked about earlier. So when you render a shortcode, it does apply filter, do shortcode something, and if you return anything but not null from there, it will just display that data. Like it would not display, like it would not commit anything, it will just display that data. So we just cached common queries, we hydrated common queries, and we hydrated counts, we hydrated products filtered, we hydrated a lot of things, and we stored it in a custom table, our own hydration, and then just like just like that, we got the site to back under, back under 1 second, back under 700, 600 milliseconds in ILO. So yeah, so this is all I have. Any questions?
You wanted more.
Sorry?
This.
Okay. You want more scenarios? Okay. Yeah, no. I should have a time live in the site.
How do you install SPAs on like local WP? Can you install your map?
I do not know. Can you modify with PHP installation in local WP? So PHP SPX is a PHP module. So just like you have curl as a, like MySQL as a PHP module, you have curl as a PHP module. PHP SPX is a PHP module, like you can install it there, and then you just enable it using a configuration file. So if you can do that with local WP, you can do that. Any other questions? So that's it for me. Thank you.
Thank you for providing such valuable information.
Nice. Thank you.
Have a short tea break. You all can go get it. We will meet you all at 3:20.
Solution LLP, is a WordPress enthusiast since 2011, contributing as a Marathi translator, editor, WordCamp speaker, and Kolhapur meetup organizer with passions for travel and conducting programming workshop. And Karthik, a professional WordPress engineer specializing in Gutenberg blocks, WP, CLI, REST API, JavaScript, PHP, HTML and CSS with extensive experience with WordPress theme and plugin developer.
So guys, my name is Makan Mane. I run an agency WP Solution LLP in Kolhapur. I'm using WP CLI since many days. I automated my lot of work with the WP CLI, and Karthik will teach you the basics of the WP CLI, how you can use it, and I will lead the workshop so you can do on your laptops. I hope many guys come with a laptop. So if you have a laptop system, make sure you have local WP installed or you have XAMPP installed there, so you can run a WordPress. Okay. Yeah, if you have Windows system, then let me know. I will guide you how to install WP CLI. Yeah, Karthik will start with the basics.
Hello everyone. Good evening, good afternoon. And I am Karthik. I am a senior WordPress engineer in Multidots. I work for past 2 years in it, and I have a total of 10 plus years experience in WordPress. So basically in Multidots we do some migrations related projects, and we are a product and a service based company. Please do, our brands are multicollab.com and dotstore.com. Please do visit our website. You can find some awesome WordPress and collaboration plugins. You can just visit those websites, multicollab.com and dotstore.com. So let's come to the topic. WP CLI. So what is WP CLI? And I think most of you know, and maybe some of you have known about the CLI, and I'm coming from the basics. Okay, so WP CLI stands for command line interface, and mostly everything will be done in the black screen. So every commands will be you will be doing everything in the black screen only, and it is for example, if anyone logs into the dashboard, and most of the tasks like adding a user, adding a post, content, and approving a comment, adding you can just regenerate the images, and we do most of the work that we do inside the WP dashboard can be done in the WP CLI as well. So it is the main advantage of the WP CLI, and I will just walk through the advantages as well while in the next few slides. And WP-CLI.org is the best resource for knowing about the WP CLI commands. Please do visit that website. And let's see the overview and benefits and the common tasks that we do using the WP CLI is like updating the code, updating the themes, updating the plugins. You can just automate it. You can just ask the WP CLI to do it. You don't need to do any of the tasks. For example, if some bigger tasks like importing from a lot of data from Excel file or from some external APIs, you can just do it with the WP CLI, and it is a very time-saving process. So if you are doing it with from WP dashboard, it might take some more time, but using the WP CLI, it will be very much useful. So who are the beneficiaries of WP CLI, and whoever uses the WordPress are the beneficiaries. Ideally, it is designers, developers, content makers, the system admins. Most of the users are the beneficiaries of WPCLI, and finally you and I are the beneficiaries of WPCLI. And why do we use, what is the usage of WPCLI? Is that the it is a time saving process and efficiency. For example, if you are importing about 1,000 users from an external Excel file or external API, let's say an external API, if the normal importing process, it is taking about 15 to 20 minutes, for example. I am giving, for example, only 1,000 or 10,000 users. If it is taking 15 to 20 minutes, means using a WP CLI command, you can just install it within 1 to 2 minutes. That is the time efficiency that you can using WP CLI you can get it from. And if you are given with some repetitive task, will you be interested in doing that? So if you are doing some repeating task daily or weekly or monthly, so no one will be interested, right? So we can ask the WPCLI to do that repetitive task from daily, monthly and weekly basis, and it will be doing that. So some automating repetitive tasks the WPCLI can be doing, and the use cases is that you can just deploy a website, and in the deployment stage and in the development stage you can use everything, and managing the themes, plugins, and mainly it is used for content migrations also. So some of the demos will be shown by Makrant during the session, and mainly the content migration is one of the useful commands we do have in WPCLI, and most of the system admins who are working in the hosting sector will be using that. For if we are moving from one site to another, we are just cloning a website from one website to another website, and this command will be very much useful, and we'll be coming into this slide later. And the command structure is the important topic that we need to discuss here. It is WP theme install storefront activate. The first one $, is the starting point in which we are going to run the command. You can just ignore that one. And WP is the invoking WP. Invoke WP is that it will be the WP word will be starting the WP CLI in it, and the theme is the main command that we are going to do. If we are, what we are going to do is we are going to do something with the theme. So the theme is the main command, and we are going to install the theme. That is the subcommand. And what is the theme we are going to install? It is the storefront. The storefront is the theme slug which we need to provide in the command. And the last one is the -activate is the flag. So the flag is not an mandatory field. You can run the command with or without the flag. So it is not a mandatory field. So can we just try? Can we just show some of the demos, like installing the theme, and I will show you right now. And later in the workshop session, Makrant will guide you through some of the installation process as well. I am just showing some of the demos over here. So now I am going to, this is the first command I am going to execute, which is the WP theme install storefront. This will be installing the storefront theme. And the second command, which is the WP theme activate storefront, will be activating it. The third command is WP theme storefront and activate. It will be doing both, installing the theme and activating it in the single command itself. So I am right now going to show you one of the commands. So I am using local by WP. So it is a default WordPress hosted in my local. So in local by WP, WP CLI is already pre-installed. Okay. So I am going to use this site shell, which is the terminal of the WP CLI. Okay. So I am going to run the command, which is the first command I have shown you. which is the WP theme install storefront, right? So I'm running the command. So before that, we will just check the back end of the WordCamp. This is my site. I'm showing the back end because this theme is not installed. So after running the theme and activating it, let's see if that theme is activated or not. The installation has been started. The theme has been installed successfully. So it has been activated. So let's check if in the backend if the theme has been installed and activated in the backend. You see the storefront theme has been installed over here and it has been activated. It is the active theme right now. Okay. So this one is this command has installed and activated the theme storefront. This theme update all. Let's this WP theme update all will do the updations of all the core themes which has been installed in your dashboard. Let us check now how it works. So now it has started the downloading the 2024 thing. Actually, in the dashboard, if you see, there are 3 of the themes which are outdated. So now I think it will be downloading the latest WordPress and it will be updating all of the WordPress in my dashboard. So now it has started 2024. It has updated and it has removed the old version. The last one is now the 2022. And theme has been updated successfully. So let us check. You can see the output over here. The 2024 theme from 1.1 version, it has been updated to 1.2. So let's check in the backend. If you can see the update message has been removed because the latest versions has been installed automatically from the command which we have run through. Now let's check the next one. Now it is the plugin. So the command which we have seen for the theme applies for the same as the plugin as well. You can just run and install the plugin using this command WP plugin activate WooCommerce. Install WooCommerce and activate it using the activate command. Let's try to do it with the simple the third command WP install WooCommerce and activate. I'm going to run that command. So this WooCommerce plugin has been installing now and it has been installation is successful and now it is activating the theme and now it is success. Let's check the backend if the plugin has been activated. So this is the default step when WooCommerce plugin has been installed. It will be going through the setup wizard. We can just ignore this step and check if the WooCommerce has been installed. Yes, the WooCommerce has been installed over here. And it has been activated as well. So we can go to the next one. You can just use to delete the plugin using this command WP plugin delete WooCommerce. And the most important one is the scaffold command. So what do you mean by scaffold? Scaffold command is nothing but if any of the developer or anyone going to start going to create a theme or plugin, they need some starting point or a boilerplate code. So if this scaffold command will not give any logics inside the theme, but it will create a starting or boilerplate code which will be from that boilerplate code the developer can create his own logic using that command, using that code. So this is the most important command which most of the developers will be using. And let me show you one of the command which is WP scaffold my plugin. So let me check if I have already created with that name itself. I am going to that WP backend. Yes, I have already created my plugin. I will just show you this with a different name. I am going to create a plugin which is WP scaffold and plugin, and this is the plugin name which we are going to create. So we need to give a plugin name. I am going to create the plugin name as my contact. So WP scaffold plugin my contact. I have run the plugin. You can see it has shown the created plugin files, created test files. Let's check the backend if that plugin has been created or not. You can see the plugin has been created. We need to just activate it. So let's see the code if it has what has been created over here. You can see in the my contact folder has been already created over here, and there are some few. You can just remove the unwanted folders if not needed. These are some testing codes that have been added by the scaffold command. You can see the main thing which is needed is our mycontact.php. From this you can just create your own logic for the plugin related things. And one of the important thing in the scaffold command is creating a custom post. So custom post type plays a main role in WordPress. So let's check this one finally, and I will hand over the session for the workshop, right? So this one is the WP scaffold post type. The post type I am going to create is movie, and then the label is movie. In the scaffold command, we need to mention the theme in which we are going to create the custom post, right? Because the custom post type might be related to a specific theme, or else the scaffold command might not work correctly. So I am just going to give this command. So I need to check the storefront theme is already installed, installed or not, or else our scaffold command might not work. So here it is, storefront is already active. I am going to run this custom command movie. So success, right? There is a message. Let's skip that message. Let's check if the custom post type is created or not. So there is nothing. Nothing is created. So let's see what is the success message. The success message is it has created just a file movie.php. Okay. So what we need to do? We need to include that movie.php into our storefront theme. So let's check if the movie.php. This is the storefront theme we have provided, and inside the storefront there is a post type and movie.php. This is the file which was created by our scaffold command. Okay, so you can see everything needed for a custom post type is already been created. So what we need to do is that just include this movie.php into our storefront functions.php. So just I am going to include this, copy this, and change the names. Post types, movie. So now let's check if the custom post type has been created or not. You can see the custom post type has been created. Okay. So until now, if you have any questions, I can just answer you now, or else finally we have a Q&A session. You can, if you have any questions, you can just ask. With this, I am handing over the session to Makrant, and he will be guiding you through the workshop session. And over to you, Makrant. What? Yeah. Yeah, it is just a custom post type. It is a basic custom post type of a WordPress will be created. If you need to add a custom field, you need to add more commands over it. If you
where we have to add custom fields?
Yeah, custom fields you can just add.
If you are a developer, you can code it. If you are not a developer, you can use advanced custom fields plugin.
Yeah,
you can create a meta fields.
What?
Can you please expose that?
Okay, guys, how many have less steps? 1, 2, 3. Only 3. Okay. So which one you have? Windows? Okay, so if you are installing first time, go to WCBLR.org. Okay, and on the WCBLR.org you will find how to install it. Go. If you are doing first time, if you have MacBook or Linux, copy this command. And you can run it on your so you already have local WP, right? Do you have XAMPP or WAMP installed? Which it's a plain. Okay. Yeah, then you can just listen to the session because we need at least a WAMP installed or some PHP core installed.
What's the schedule?
Okay. If you have any cPanel hosting also right now, and that also come with a terminal. Okay. So please, we need two things. You should have a WAMP, MAMP or XAMPP installed on your machine or local WP. After that, you need a terminal to execute the commands because it's a command line interface. Okay. Okay, if you are already, as Karthik said, if you have already WP CLI, local WP, then it will install the shell. But if you don't have, okay, I'm just showing some basic commands about downloading WordPress. Okay, it's a plain folder. We don't have any WordPress. Okay. So I will you can try the commands with me. Take a new folder and try to we will download the code WordPress core files. So generally what you do, you go to the WordPress.org, you download the zip, you extract and you start the installation. Okay, and if you want to automate this, you can create a shell file and add all the commands in a one file. And you can run in a single command also. Okay, so to confirm is WP CLI is installed on your machine or not, you can type we need little bit zoom. Is it visible? Yeah. So you can type WP space -- info to check is WP CLI is available or not. Yeah. So it will show you which PHP version you have and where are the CLI packages are installed. Okay. If you can see this information, then WP CLI is there. You can run all the WP CLI commands. Okay. So right now I will download WordPress core. So type WP space core download. Okay, so in the bottom you can see, yeah, it's downloading the latest version. Okay, so you don't need to bother about downloading zip and extracting it. It will download all the core files. Yeah, you have to inside the folder. Are you able to manage with any hosting? Yeah. If you are you connected with a terminal? Hey, if you have any cPanel that comes with the a terminal, so you can open the terminal and you can download. Okay. So if you see that we have downloaded all the files of WordPress. Okay. And if you want to check what WordPress version is it? Okay. Why it is having so much errors?
Yeah, it might be some.
Yeah. So you can see at the bottom. Yeah, it's a 6.6. I will just zoom it out. Yeah, now it is visible, all of you. Okay. Okay. So with the so WP is your main prompt. Okay. So core is the command and download was the sub command. Okay. So is it happens sometime with you that you update the WordPress and after updating WordPress your site goes crash? Is it happen sometime? What you do at the time? How you are rolling it back?
Check the PHP version.
Yeah. So a PHP version is not a problem, but the after updating in WordPress some functionality is deprecated or removed, and it got broken. So what you have to do? You have to roll back to the previous version, right? And how you are doing it?
We need to download the
previous version. You have to download and you have to extract and you have to remove the WP includes and all the files and you have to replace it. So with the WP CLI, you can just downgrade in a one click. So WP core, you have to do update. So update is basically sub command to update your WordPress from the previous version to the latest version. So if I just fire it, it will show that okay, sorry, we still have to install the WordPress. We haven't installed. Yeah, if you are on the Windows, you can just please try with these commands. I think you already have WP CLI. So I'm just keeping this slide. Oh, sorry, I am on which slide? Okay. So already you installed. If you are on Linux or MacBook, you can fire this command and it will get installed easily. If you are on Windows, then you have to download the PHP FAR file. You can download from this URL. After that, you create a folder in a C drive with the WP-CLI folder, and after that, you have to add the path to system variable, and that installation you can just find that install WP CLI on Windows. On this page installing, you will see the guideline for Windows here. Sorry. Yeah. So once you download the FAR file, you have to create one batch file. In like in Linux we have shell files. In Windows we have batch files where you can club all the commands together and you can run. So you have to create one .bat file, wp.bat, create this file, and after in that file you have to write this echo and this path. So this path is leading to the FAR file, FAR package of WP-CLI. Do not, if you write incorrect path, then you will get errors. So use the correct path, and you have to add this path in the system variables of the WordPress, Windows. So in Windows you have to go to system variables, add this path, and then you can run the WP command from anywhere. Okay, and also you have to add the path for PHP library. So if you are using XAMPP, WAMP, so whichever the folder you have PHP installed, you have to also add that path in the Windows system variables. Then you are able to run this command effortlessly on the Windows. Okay, any doubts? Okay, so let's go to the next slide. So after you install, you have to run the wp-info to check it is working properly. So we just tried with the WP core download. Yeah. So after downloading, what you do? You open the wizard and you enter all the database details, right? So you have to create the config file so that you can create using this command wp config create. Then you have to pass db name, db user, and a db database password. So with this you can create a config file. After config file, you have to install WordPress. So last page of the wizard where you enter the admin username. So with this last command, you can install core WordPress. Okay. So you have to add the what is the URL and admin user password, all the details. Okay. Okay. So right now I am not going in the installation. I will just keep this folder. I will use another folder which are already present in the local WP. So you can try on your Windows. You can just run wizard fastly and just set it up. Okay, I will use this I will just reset it first. Is it need? Okay.
Now, don't edit that my plugin. Only the my plugin.
Remove?
My. No. Just check my plugin. You can do all this.
Okay, okay. I got it. Sorry. Okay, to run the WP-CLI, until and unless you are just downloading, you should be in any folder. But when you are working on any WordPress installation, you must be inside the WordPress folder. So check whether you are inside folder or not. Okay, so if you are in the parent folder of the WordPress, then it will not work. But if you are inside any folder of the WordPress, so if you are inside the WP content or inside the any plugin folder, and you are trying to execute the WP CLI command, you can do. Okay. Okay, so we will check what is the WP core version right now here. It's a 6.6 version. I will try to downgrade to 6.5. WP core, sorry, it's update command, not downgrade. So you have to pass what is the version you want to downgrade. So I will downgrade it to 6.4, and so update is updating to the newer version. So in this case it will not downgrade. You have to tell him to force it. So you will give two parameters. One is a version number and another one is a forcefully. Okay. So after this it will download the 6.4 version and downgrade your WordPress to the 6.4. Okay. So if you again hit with any issue with the WordPress after updating, so you can roll back with the one command line. Also you can do same with the plugin and themes also. Sometimes it happens, very rarely it happens with the WordPress you update and broke, but many times it happens with the any plugin or theme you are using. It broke the website, right? Yeah, are you trying with me? Okay. Okay, so within few seconds it downgraded WordPress version. Now we can check again what is the WordPress version. It's 6.4 now. Okay, shall we move ahead? Okay, next command we will try. We will install plugins from WP CLI command. If you are installing plugins from WordPress backend, what you going to do? You going to add new, and then you search one by one, keep contact form, Elementor, all the things. But with WP CLI, you can install many plugins in a one command line. Okay. First we will see how we can search the plugins. So after WP, plugin is a command, then search is a sub command. I will search for contact form. So this same you do from the backend. Okay. So what you need to install a plugin from WP CLI, you need a key slug of the plugin. So if I am installing the WP forms slide, I have to just copy this. And if you know you want to install many plugins, you can just keep copying all the slugs together and you can club them. So WP plugin. Just pick up. Install. So you can just install, means it will just download. Okay, or if you want to install and activate, then already as shown you can add the flag. So I will copy this. Okay, this is slug. You have to use the slug, not the name. Okay, you want to install also Elementor. Okay, any more plugin you want. Suppose WooCommerce is a heavy bit. Okay, let's take a Akismet. Okay, you can install many plugins in one go, and you can add, activate, flag. So it will download all 3 plugins and it will activate.
I think in Elementor there is an
spelling mistake?
Yeah.
Okay, then it will give the error. Yeah, you can try with the search or you can start with the installation also. Yeah, it gave the error warning. Yeah, it installed. Okay. Done. Yeah, we can go ahead.
Yes.
Yeah, you can try with the deleting one plugin also. Okay, so already we have activated Akismath, so we can't delete it. So we have to first deactivate Akismath. Okay, and there must be flag. I not sure right now. And then you can delete Akismath.
Spelling.
Again? Oh. Okay, same you can try with the theme. Okay, you can just please try. You can just add any favorite your favorite theme. Just download and install it. Any your favorite, or you can just try with the WP theme install Astra activate. Okay. Try this third one to download and install. Download and activate. Okay, are you done with installing theme? Okay, so then one more command we will see. Suppose if your WordPress got broken, what you do? You go to the WP config file and you turn on the debug. So you can set the debug on by command. So WP config, in the config you are setting the variable name and the value. Whether it is, you are turning it on or off. Okay, so whatever your variable, whether it is a WP debug or WP debug log, or you are adding a site URL, home URL, whatever the variable you want to define, and then the value. If your value is in the string, then you have to pass the value in the double quote or single quote. Okay, so it added the variable. So let's check. Yeah, you can see that we have added the variable. Let's set it off, false, check. Yeah, we have set it using command line. Okay, so okay, you can just note them down, and we will go to the first next point. So if you are suppose if you are creating importing and creating posts, you can create a post using WP post create. You can update the post, and suppose there is slug or title whatever with the WP update. You can delete with the WP post delete. Okay, and then I will go move to the. If you want to note it down, please note it down, and we will jump to the next slide.
Can you retrieve the trash post?
Yeah, you can with the parameters. If you have any thought now, just Google it, and it will land you to the right point. So what I will do, I will just WP CLI list trashed, list all trash post, and you will find it's a delete. So you have to go to the list. Okay, this is the command WP post list, and then you are in the parameter you have to pass the status. Okay, post status you can pass, and you can list all the trash post. Okay. Okay, we will jump to the next point. This is one interesting. You will use it regularly if you are preparing a website for a client. Okay, and initially, is every client gives you content? No. They ask you to add some dummy content, prepare the structure, show us. If you like it, we will go ahead, right? And you do lot of work to add the dummy content. Okay. So with this command, you can generate the dummy content. You can generate 1,000 or any number of posts. Okay. So we will do this. Let's check the backend. How many posts we have? Yeah, only one post. Hello world, which is default, and we will now generate. Okay, instead of page, I will use a post type page. Okay. So whatever your post type is a by default post or page, whichever you want to generate, and I will just increase the count to 50. I need a 50 dummy posts, and that's it, done. How much time it will take for you? Maybe half an hour to create or duplicate. Yeah, use the duplicate plugin. Instead that you can just it created a 50 posts.
Not for custom post types?
Yeah. Yes, you can just write whatever your post type is. Instead of post, you can write page, you can write attachment, you can write whatever your post type, team or something, whatever you have made. Okay.
Only the attached title. The attached title. He is asking whether it has content on.
Yeah, only title.
You can just add the descriptions as well. You can just add the parameters to add the descriptions.
Yeah. And all the details about every sub command and parameters you will find on the documentation. Documentation is very great. So everywhere you will find what parameters accept, and these are the examples. Okay. Using the examples, you can easily solve your issues. Okay. So many of you know that we need to use the child theme to secure our work. Okay. So if you are not changing in the parent theme, so your work will not deleted. So every time you have to create some files. Instead of that, you can create your child theme by scaffold. So we will see how many themes we have right now. WP theme list. Yeah, we have 3 themes, and I will just install Astra. Install Astra, and I will activate. And no need to activate. I will just prepare my child theme using Astra. Okay, it's still already. Here I am not activating Astra because I want to activate my child theme. Okay, so I am creating a child theme named my theme. Okay, and I am passing parameter that parent theme is Astra, and after this I will activate my child theme. Okay, so it created a child theme. So right now we can list how many themes we have. Okay, so we have 5 themes, and my theme is right now active, and you can see that Astra is a parent. Okay, so the way I shown the update command for the code, also you can try for the theme also. So if you want to update any theme, Astra, you can pass the version number. For plugin and theme, you can do the same. Okay, so with the scaffold command, we created our child theme. After the scaffold, we will go with the scaffolding custom post type. So every time you go to the website and copy the register array, right? So instead that we can just scaffold this post type with the scaffold command. So WP scaffold post type. Okay, I will create it as a movie, and let's pass the label. Yeah. Okay, so what parameter I am passing? The post type name, post type label, and I want to create it for my theme. Not registered sub command. Oh, I missed something. Oh, actually it's a sub command, so I have to give space. Yeah, and the flags are label and my theme. I missed something.
I think you need to change the my theme.
Yeah, I missed something. I just added the wrong parameter. Yeah, I have to write the theme. Yeah, so it creates the file for registration inside the file, and you can see the path. It added a file under my child theme inside the folder and movie.php, and you have to just go inside your function.php, and you have to just include that file. So same way, if you need a boilerplate for your plugin, if you are creating a plugin, you can also scaffold it. So your plugin name is same?
Yeah, you can just change the name.
Yeah, okay. Okay, suppose if you have some custom post type inside your plugin, I'm just scaffolding it so I can show the files. Go to side folder, config or app. Okay. So yeah, this is my plugin. So it will add the necessary files for you. The test files, unit testing, the grunt file, and some package JSON, yeah, which will help you. Okay. And suppose if you create a custom post type for a plugin, then you have to just add plugin is equal to my CPT. Okay. Yeah, you can see this folder. So inside the plugin, it added the post type. You want to try? Done? Okay, after this, this is one command. You can list all the cron jobs present on your WordPress. Event list, sorry. Okay, so you can see how many cron jobs are running inside your WordPress. You can just kill them or add via command. Okay, so after this, the very useful command for you, if you are migrating WordPress and sometimes many strings are not replaced, so in that case you can use the WP search and replace. So first parameter is for the searching, second parameter is for the replacing. So with this you can just search and replace whatever you want to replace it. Okay, yeah. Then last two commands we will see. So inside the WordPress we have to we can add different sizes for the images. So once you upload the image, WordPress creates different versions of that file, right? And sometimes if you change the theme and that theme have some new dimensions, or if you add the dimension via code, in that case you have to regenerate all the thumbnails of the images. So you can do this with the simple command. If you sometime if you run via WordPress backend and it ends with the 500 sometime, or sometime it's run with the timeout, right? So to get saved from that, you can use the WP media regenerate. So it will regenerate all the images. So right now we don't have any images, so it will regenerate all the thumbnails. Okay, and last one we will see WPDB export. So you can write the name of the file, or you can skip it also. So yeah, it will export all the database for you, and this way if you add this command in the cron jobs, it will regularly export your database in some folder. Okay. So these are the few commands we have listed here, which will help your regular day-to-day maintenance with the WordPress, or you can automate your work with the WordPress. So in my case, every time I am getting a client, so I am setting up WordPress with whatever the flow I need. Okay. So what I did, every time I have to spend 4 to 5 hours to install the WordPress for my client, adding my own stuff, removing default plugins and themes, removing default settings, adding my own settings, creating child theme for my developers, so developers will only work in my child theme, and adding that child theme in the Git repository. So I collected all these commands together. I made a shell file. I run that shell file, and with that shell file I am doing my 5 hours job in 5 minutes. So that shell file just asks for the database name and the initial parameters to install the WordPress, and after that it does the magic. So if you want to try, give a try. It is available on the GitHub. Sorry. Yeah, it's the second one. Cool. Just pick up delivery person. Just tell him to deliver tomorrow. Okay, so this is my repository where I have written few things. You can download how you can use this. So I am having stack of, I am using Astra and Elementor, some paid plugins and activating their licenses. So all this job is done with my shell file. You can go here and check all the commands I have made a batch together. Okay, so I have added a lot of things together. You can go to the version 1 of this file. Okay, do you have any questions?
I'm just creating custom post type with the help of ACF, advanced custom fields. Is it different or this?
No, it's the same. Yeah, it's a WordPress API, by the way. So you have to pass one array to the WordPress, and WordPress does the job. So if you are adding from the ACF or from this, or doesn't matter. If you are preparing a plugin, writing a plugin, in that case you will not go for the ACF, na? If you are just delivering a solution, then you will go ACF. Yeah.
This is my client requirement. We have to create custom post types.
Yeah, and every time we are changing some parameters.
The ACF one and just adding your full ACF inside the ACF.
Yeah.
And just there will be just filter the categories in the post.
Yes.
Like,
so that also creates the array and passing to the WordPress. So that also does the same job. If you are adding directly from the code or adding, yeah, it's the same.
What about automating backups? Like small jobs. Do we automate the backups?
Automate?
Backup.
Yeah, you can automate the backup with the you can use the WP export, DB export, and you can export the database, and also with same time you can add some additional Linux commands, or you can prepare a zip and export. Yeah, and you have to add this that shell file in the cron job of the system. Yeah, so your regular day-to-day maintenance work will be made easy with the WP CLI. Also, the best thing about WP CLI, you can create your own command, and with your own command you can recover some errors. Like sometimes if you are importing a lot of data, you end up with the timeout, or sometimes with the 500 error, right? And with the WP CLI you can add your custom command, and that can that you can come over out of timeout. Okay, and Karthik will show about how you can create your own custom commands.
I'm going to show a demo, that's it. Until now we have shown about only the WordPress default commands, but now we have some options in WordPress to show the to create our own commands, which is the WP custom CLI commands. So this is a sample code which will show how to create a custom CLI command. The first line will be showing the we will be checking how to create a WP. The first line will check if the WP is activated, and the second line will be adding the command. This is our own command. The command name is my plugin, and the second argument is the callback function. This is the greet command, and this is a callback function, and the function is defined over here, and this is the WP. Inside that function I have just added a success message. That's it. I will just run and show you this command. So I have added it in a plugin, this code. Let me show you. Let me check if that plugin is activated. So I will activate the plugin, and now I'm going to run this command. You can see the parameter I have passed is multi-dots, and the success message is hello multi-dot. This is a simple custom CLI command. I'm just going to finally show you a demo which will install about install the WooCommerce plugin, activate it, and then install about 50 products with the image and the price. So I've already written the code for that. I'm just opening the site shell of it. So I will just open the backend and show you if there is no okay. I will just delete it off. So this is the plugin which I have created already, WP CLI demo, and inside that only I have added that code. You can see the code over here. I will just explain it in a minute. I will just run that command and show you how it works. And the command, the custom command for that code is, it is just WP create dummy products. Now we have already deleted all the posts over there. We need to just activate I'm installing and activating the WooCommerce plugin. Now I'm running my custom command, which is WP create dummy products, and you see the products has been installed. So let's see the front end. The 50 products has been installed in a minute. I'm going to the shop page. You see everything is done with the product, with the price has been installed. So if you are going to create a client site with adding a product, means it will be taking more than 2 to 3 hours for adding 50 to 100 products. Within just minutes you can just we have completed adding this much of products. So this is the command. Function. This is the custom CLI code which I have written for creating the dummy post. And what if this is the command and this is the callback function I have created. This will check if the plugin is WooCommerce plugin is active or not. and this will take the images randomly from our media, and this is the code which is used, WooCommerce code which is used to create the product. I have just used a for loop to create this custom CLI command. That's it. So we have completed installing about 50 products just within 10 seconds. So we are done with the presentation. So this is my test case. I have shown what I have shown. Finally, regarding WP CLI, you can just try the methods which we have shown in the workshop today, and try to use in your day-to-day projects that you are going to work hereafter. So that's it for our presentation. You can let us know if you have any other questions.
Sir, can you solve the mean, sir? Can you solve the funny mean?
Which one?
Which is in GitHub?
Yeah.
Can you solve
the one which I created for the I can just give you the code. I do not have it in GitHub, but I can give you the code. Yeah.
That's all.
So we are happy to answer if you have any questions.
After the topic and one question, when we creating any page, we just edit a block, like creating heading, paragraph, and then we adding a grid of columns. Can we change the grid into any other thing?
The grid means you are going to
yeah, when we creating any page, we creating a page. We just adding any block, like a heading we adding in the caption, the page. We adding a grid also, like a column. Like when we click on the column, it will be giving us one row, 2 grid or 3 grid.
Yeah.
Can we change the column?
Yes, you can just. This is the Gutenberg thing, right? You are using the pattern in the Gutenberg, right? Yeah. It is basically you can just use it as a search replace command which he has mentioned. You can just check the command.
If you are changing main post, then you can just do the search.
Yeah, because we can't change, so we just creating a variations of Node.js code, just variations, but we can't change it.
Okay. Maybe we can check it. What is your real requirement, and only then we can find a solution for it. But it is possible. Everything is possible in WP CLI.
No, we can't find any solution. We just create the variations of the columns.
Okay. But it can be figured out.
Possible, right?
Yeah. Okay.
And if you hit any question in mind, then visit to WPCLI.org and documentation. It has all the things you need. Yeah, the main thought behind this session, that put the thought inside your mind that how it can help you. And if you know that WPCLI is helping, then you can explore it yourself.
Yeah.
Okay?
So thank you guys.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
This is the first WordCamp is seeing this.
Listen.
You want an answer after the break in various columns. There is a sponsors raffle going on there.
What do you mean?
I was in shock for 5 minutes initially.
So, can we have that code to create that creating a product?